Okay, here we are. It's Greek Easter 2013. And Cousin Gary is now preparing the lamb for when we put it on the rotisserie. We just rubbed it down with salt. And right now he's washing it off, washing the salt off with some clean water. And then after this, in a minute, we're going to put some lemons in it, rub it with some spices, and get ready for the pull. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Say hi, Gary.
How you doing? Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Opa! Yasu! At this point, we're trying to put the skewers through the backbone and through the little holes that are in the pole so that eventually we can tie the string around the skewers and around the lamb to hold it in place so that it stays secure while it's rotating on the pole. We're actually doing this the night before. We're going to be cooking it. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening, and we should be putting this on to cook tomorrow morning around 6 or 7 o'clock. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, at this point, Cousin Gary, along with his nephew Matt, are tying the head and the neck areas to the pole. So after they wrap the string around a few wraps, then at that point the head and the neck will be secure. And then later on we're going to tie some more string around the lamb toward the back to secure the rest of it to the pole. So after that we will be ready, almost ready to put it over the coals, but of course that'll be in the morning. Okay. As you can see, we've got the head and front legs pretty well tied up to the pole. And then we've got the skewers through the midsection of the lamb's body. And now we're in the process of tying the back legs, which is the last part that we need to do here. And then we're almost ready. We're going to season it and wrap it up nice for the night. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, now that we've got the lamb all tied up to the pole, we're going to season it now. As you notice, Cousin Gary, say hi, Gary.
How you doing?
Okay.
Opa.
Opa!
There we go.
Yasu. Cousin Gary is now inserting lemons and pepper and some salt into the cavity where all the intestines used to be, and some of the special mixture of oil, lemon juice, and garlic, and oregano. He's going to put that in there too. Stuff about a half a dozen lemons in there, sew it up, and they'll be ready to go. Okay, now that we've got all the garlic pieces inserted into the shoulders and the hind quarter area, now we're sewing up the intestinal cavity. And as you can see, Cousin Gary is using a sailor's knife. Is that what you? Needle.
Sailboat sails.
It's a curved needle that can be used on sailboat sails, and he's using it on the lamb here, and
It's difficult.
Yeah.
You got to get around the bones and everything.
right,
so.
you can see that it's curved,
Yeah.
and right, got to get it through the bones, but just makes it a little bit easier than a straight needle to get it through the skin to sew up that cavity. So he's going to sew this up maybe halfway or 3/4 of the way, and stuff the rest of the lemons in there. And then we'll be all set. We'll be ready to put it on ice. Okay, we're back on Sunday morning, May 5th. We've got the lamb in its final stages of preparation. Cousin Gary is putting a little more string on there, secured a little better. As you can see, it's in place. on the rotisserie, ready to start turning in a few minutes here. So as soon as he gets it tied up here, we're going to plug the motor in, and it's going to start turning. We're going to baste it, and we'll be doing this for the next several hours. So we'll be back in a few minutes to give you an update.